State of Atlanta, grab a tonic, let's go. David, Ryan, Tim, ready, never holding back. Talking Georgia State highs and lows, blue, white, the Panthers go. S-T-A-T-E, let's go. ATL, ready, Panthers go. Like a cold blooded state of Atlanta. Crack a cold one, it's state of Atlanta.
Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown, here with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber.
Hello.
And this is State of Atlanta.
What are you giggling about?
I love that intro.
I hate it so much.
We were talking about that before you joined. Tim said that you hated it, and I said I don't think that you hate it. I just thought that
so much.
I thought you just liked the old school man of tradition, the old little horns thing.
Oh, I do genuinely really like our old one too. So I'm just like, this is just such a massive downgrade for me.
I think it's so good. I love it.
We should rename our podcast Ska of Atlanta or Ska of Atlanta. Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with going away from the horns or whatever, but man, if we could, I like Tim's idea. If we're gonna play terrible music, let's at least change it up every week.
Yeah, and actually, that's what he asked me before you joined backstage. Was backstage? It's like we're a professional thing. Before you joined, was what he was looking forward to see what I had in store for him, and I was like, dude, I haven't had time to do anything.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, since the last time that we did the podcast, so last week, the only thing I've done Georgia State related was I did watch the basketball game on Friday, but I watched 0 seconds of the Jimmy Madison game, and it looks like I'm a better person for having done so. I did follow along on my phone, and that sucked, but it's been just hectic as hell over here. So I'm going to lean on you guys to tell me that we actually looked really good. The score was not representative of the game and all that kind of fun stuff, right?
Nope. Not gonna help you out there.
If there was a way to exponentially go backwards, we did.
No, you saw the group chat, right? We're worse every single week, right? Every single week we're somehow worse. Like we peaked like game 2, 3, whatever that was, 3. We peaked game 3, right?
This was bigger though. We like dug a hole and then we're like, no, we're gonna double down on that hole and be 28 points. Like
so tell me, what was it? Just like poor execution, ball not bouncing our way, bad coaching. Like what got us into such a bad position? I mean, as much as I talk crap about Jimmy Madison, there's no denying it. It's a well-run football program.
Yeah,
they were good last year. New head coach, but he's able to come in and just keep it rolling.
They could have hung 60 on us. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. They didn't. So yay, but. Silver linings.
They like to score a lot of points against us. I was looking at the history of us. The first time we played each other, they only scored 28. Since then, it's been 42, 42, 38. So we improved. Our defense improved.
Sure.
Yay.
That's it.
No, I mean they're definitely a really good team. But I listened to some of the coaches' press conference. I hate that stuff, but he was pretty down on the players. He's saying they're not executing on the field the same way that they do during practice. I don't really know what that means. Like what's going through the players' minds, like why that's happening or why that would happen. He also said some frustrating things where he's like, he says he doesn't like to look backwards. Look at previous games, and I'm like, well, how are you going to know what you're doing wrong if you don't look at it? I don't understand. Right. I mean, I understand the mentality, I guess, but like, dear God, I hope you're looking at these games and figuring out what you did wrong.
Yeah, we don't look forward more so than just the next opponent, and we're not going to look behind us. We live in this little 6-day window of what terrible. Life really is. Yeah.
And apparently on the pregame, he said that we had a terrible practice on Tuesday, which apparently on Tuesday it's like the heavy day, all out. But he said that was a terrible practice, so he thought maybe that was going to be a good thing for Saturday, but it was not.
That's like when brides tell you, or people tell brides that it rain on your wedding day is actually a good luck omen. You say, "Oh, if we have a crappy practice, that means we're going to execute like top notch on game day."
I mean, I don't know how you could go into any practice and see them at any level and be like, the game's going to be whatever is going to be good at this point. Like the game's not been good for many weeks now. So
How did Zach Gibson look good at all, or mediocre, or did Thayer come in at any point? Did Zach play the entire game? Like what happened? Like I'm not kidding. I have no idea what happened.
I think Gibson played the whole game.
He did. Yeah.
I mean, he's fine. He's a fine quarterback.
Serviceable. He's serviceable, right?
I guess. I mean, he's got one target.
Super tall target that's going to be
guy
gone next year.
That'll be gone next year is exactly what I was going to say.
The only player that scored a touchdown in the game, Ted Hurst.
the only touchdown we had. Yeah, the only score we had. The only score period. So,
that is the bright side. We were not shut out. There you go.
So, has this team does it sound like this team has just given up? They're like on to next season, onto the portal, onto whatever's next.
I mean, maybe they're already on that track, and they knew that having to win every game to the end of the season to get bowl eligible probably wasn't possible, and they're mailing it in now, which is sad because I still want our team. I guess what I'll say is for all the other games we've lost, which we've lost a lot of them now, they still fought. They kind of fought in this game, but not really. I mean, Jamie just did whatever they wanted to do for the most part until they screwed up on their own accord. And that's like the only thing that stopped them from scoring.
Well,
I remember. Go ahead.
I was just going to say to your question, if they're taking any kind of good advice in the age of the transfer portal, as a player, you always have something to play for. The team could lose every single game on the schedule, but if you show out, if you can create some good film of you making plays and doing stuff despite that, because I mean it's a team sport that a couple people are could crash the entire thing, right? And that might be what's happening. But you go out and you make plays, you can transfer somewhere else better, right? But if you go out and you're not doing anything, nobody's gonna take you. Why would anybody want you?
It's just like Corbin Burnson in Major League when he was the hot shot player on the Cleveland Indians, and he wasn't playing well because he wanted to get traded the next season because they sucked. Mm-hmm. And they came back to him, and the coaches or managers you think anybody's going to trade for an old guy who can't make plays at third base? You got to show that you actually have some skills. You can still do something. You got to play this game.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie. Oh man, I can't hear Wild Thing without seeing Charlie Sheen and his little weird haircut.
Yeah.
Awesome. And
his stupid glasses.
His nerd glasses.
Yeah.
That's a good look. Yeah. So what are we playing for now? We got, what is it, 3 games left? Is there anything to play for? I'm not saying there's nothing to play for. Because technically we could still somehow, some way make a bowl game.
Yes, win the last 3 and not enough bowl teams. We get in somehow.
That'd be rough. I don't think it'd be happen.
It'd be the Saskatchewan Bowl against Mosquito University or something like that. I don't know.
We're not going to be one of those cusp teams that gets the exception to come in. That's not going to be us. We're dead last in multiple categories.
Well, we'd have to just win these last 3 games in grandiose fashion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, putting up 40, 50 points, not allowing anything, embarrassing the opponent, which, I haven't seen anything so far to let me know that this team could do something like that. But I wasn't joking when I was asking the question. I was one that they're playing for is to not go for an over in conference play. I don't think we've lost every conference game since the very first season we joined the Sun Belt. I think since then we've won, a couple of them every season, even in our 2-win season under Sean. What was that in 2018?
So not
I think so.
Yeah,
Miles had a bad one too, didn't he?
Well, Miles went over.
Yeah, he had
the entire season, and then we went 1, which I don't know if that was actually a Sun Belt season. That was our first transitional, and then we went 1-12, beating Abilene Christian only in his second year, and then we went bowling the next season.
Right. Yeah.
So
maybe that's where we're heading. Who knows?
Yeah.
We gotta take this really, really, really bad season to go to a bowl next season.
Yeah. Well,
I don't like that pendulum thing we do. It wants to be good and great and amazing.
Well,
yeah,
yeah, that's
good
really-
and then build. Like
Right.
quit with this. I don't know, deflating thing.
Well, that's a question I've written down as well. It's like, we get a brand new coach, a brand new coaching staff, and a whole new roster, and this has happened to us a couple of times, and we still find a way just to do the most Georgia State things ever and come out and play, respectable for a new a team against Tech, win the FCS game, beat what turned out to be a really good Vanderbilt team, and then just completely piss the bed the rest of the season so far.
Yeah.
Like, how does this keep on happening? Is this just what programs that have not achieved real success do? Is this what these teams are used to?
Wildly inconsistent.
Or
I mean,
are we
got
setting a
that
new
down.
standard?
Yeah, throughout our history, we've had like wild ups and downs. I feel like, and every year it's like we have these amazing plays or games that happen, and then we have these like crazy lows too. And there has been like really, really big consistency problems. And I don't know, I don't know why that would be like always true of a program through multiple coaches and like even multiple administrations in the university at this point. And it's like, well, so like what's going on there? I know there's some apathy. It feels like towards the athletic department from the school. Like they just don't really get a lot of love. But I don't know how all that translates or what's causing it.
How that translates a team to take Wisconsin to the fourth quarter by a touchdown and beat Tennessee and then lose to Western Michigan in historic fashion. And
We're consistently inconsistent.
lose a home opener in your brand new stadium to an FCS opponent. I don't understand. I don't understand this team. Like we've just like you guys said, like we've had some historic wins, some great stuff, and then we still find a way to like just throw that all out the window and just I don't know. I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah.
Me neither. I didn't see the fight in the team this week, like we saw in the prior weeks. I mean, this was by far our worst loss, worst performance, offense, defense. Just no fight, none.
Yeah,
soft prevent defense
Well,
the entire time. Just
and that's
take what
coaching.
you want. Yeah,
that's coaching, right? That's coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just hope the team pridefully does not want to lose 9 games in a row. Yeah,
Oh,
9
God.
games in a row. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, so there's another thing to play for, and that's to end this weird streak of no home team winning against Georgia State and Coastal Carolina.
I'd be good. Fine. If we could win one more game, win that one. And the weird streak. It'll start next year off with a bang.
Well, so homecoming this week, and we're playing Arkansas State, and for whatever reason, all season long, ESPN has had us favored in this game by a wide margin, as high as almost 90%. 61.4% win for us on Saturday. I don't know if there's just some kind
Are
of
they drunk?
Well, and they're Arkansas State's coming off of a big loss to Lafayette, 55-19 on the road, but they had a bye week for that. They were on a 2-game win streak before then. They're putting up points. Other than last week, they're putting up points. I don't know, but
we're favored, right, by point.
2.5 points.
2.5.
2.5 points. So, yeah, I don't know what to expect out of this game, and it's the first time we've ever had a 5:00 home kickoff.
Stat of the night, right there. How did you figure that out? Or is it written somewhere?
Oh no, that just kind of started passing around social media when they announced the kick. What do you guys think about 5:00 kick? I mean, I always like late kickoffs because I like extra tailgating, but 5:00 is kind of a weird one because it's late, but it's also kind of just ruins anybody's day that wanted to do something. I obviously want to tailgate.
What else would you want to do?
That's all I want to. But there's all these people that talk about, I like an early game so I can do something afterwards, and I'm like, you're coherent afterwards. You're functional enough to do something afterwards, or people I like a late game so that I can do something during the day and show up at kickoff or whatever. And I'm like, my day is.
I feel like if you're a family, this lets you wake up, hang out with the kids, do something, go out, do something else, maybe go to lunch with them, and then like drop them off with a babysitter, and then come tailgate the rest of the day before the game.
or maybe this gives you a chance to actually bring the kids out to a tailgate because the game is not a 7:00 game, and actually do a family kind of experience and
That's
without
kind of
being
the thing. So like
super
7
hot.
o'clock, you're looking at 10
Too
o'clock,
late.
10 or 11, you're ending, and like that's been a struggle for me with my
Mhm.
kid. Just being like, I don't know if I'm going to do that. Now, I mean, I just did, but I'm like diehard, and I'm like, well, my 8-year-old's going to have to deal with that every now and again during football season. That's going to be fine. But a 5 o'clock game ends at, it was at 8 or 9, right?
8, 9. You're home by 9:00. You are definitely home by 9:00.
Well,
Yeah.
and so that's the other thing is like going out at like 11 o'clock after a game after you've been tailgating all day is sort of like, oh God, I don't know if I want to do all that because I'm a little older now.
That's
But
where all
like,
the good
but at
decisions are
like 8 or
made.
9, I'm
Shut
like, hey,
up.
let's
Shut
go.
up.
Let's go drink some more. So maybe that'll be fun.
Go. Yeah. At that point, you can just go have dinner somewhere. It's like if you go out after a football game. If you go out after a 7 or 8 o'clock football game, you're not going to go out to eat and have fun with people. You're going to go out and just continue the drunken debauchery that you are, and wake up Sunday morning, hopefully in your own bed, wondering how you got there.
Or not. I mean,
Yeah. But you 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Like, all right, cool. This was a good time. Let's go grab some food and go out, and maybe you're actually home by midnight that night. I think it's kind of
maybe.
cool. That's kind of cool. I like the 5 o'clock little time slot there.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'm just thankful we didn't have any noon games this year, did we?
No, I don't.
No. Yeah. We used to have
Not
a few of those, and so I'm glad they're gone.
Well, like the first 4 or 5 games, like all the games we had the beginning of the season were all like 7 o'clock games.
Well,
Tech, and then
chatty.
the Mocs, and then Vandy, and did we go on our break then?
Southern after that.
Trash
They were
down
afternoon.
south. Yeah, I erased those brain cells. Definitely,
ODU, I don't remember when they were. Was that night?
it was a night game as well. Yeah, so we had all of our games were night games between on the road, and then even then we had Marshall, which was a night game, and what was it? Appy? I think Appy was 3 o'clock, right?
Yeah, it was afternoon. So
Yeah.
it begs the question: what time will be our last game of the season?
My luck will be
Hopefully, if it's noon, man, that'd be the worst.
they would do a noon game just to annoy me with the chili cook-off.
Oh yeah.
You just don't go in. You just stay outside.
Do this. Should that be our protest to
If
to Georgia State
is noon.
with all the crap that's going on, with how like not serious they're taking actual marketing and promoting this program and doing something? Should we just do what students are doing and just continue tailgating? Like, all right, cool. We'll just keep on hanging out here and not go inside at all. We'll have a good old time.
I don't know. I think that's
turn on Dave.
worthy of discussion, but I'm not sure if I'm there yet.
Or at least wait for them to come over and ask us to come into the game. Just tailgate until they say, "Hey guys, it's time to go in." Oh, okay.
Well,
I didn't know
no,
if you wanted.
We'll just take the tents away.
I say they do come and clean up while the game is happening, so they would stop by at some point. I think
We'll just keep a table and a tent and say, "Look, we'll put it up for you when we're done."
Can't you see we're drinking here?
Drinking here.
We're performing very important business. You need to leave us alone.
Man, but by that last game, I might be moved.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, hightailing. Georgia State's frustrated you so much, you're just hightailing
You're
it out of
moving
Silver
away.
Hill.
Yeah, they're drinking up the place.
Yeah, moving to like what, South Carolina, something like that, out really
Oh,
far
is it-
east.
Something like that.
Carolina, South Carolina. Where is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. It's something
I've
like
been
Mount.
checking out. I've been checking out the visa requirements for Stone Mountain. So
Yeah, what's the time change exactly? What's it? Yeah.
-3.
Do you have to actually get like check your credit cards for a currency exchange when you actually make it back into the real world? When you
Well,
get
and I
over
got security devices while I'm walking around, so it's like strapped to my chest, so nobody can pickpocket me. Yeah.
here? Yeah. I'm sure I'm familiar with the Froman's Guide to International Travel. So enjoy Stone Mountain, Ryan.
I don't know if I did tell you guys. I didn't tell anybody else, I
Yeah.
guess. But I looked at a house that was like in Panthersville. I had no idea where I was because I came from a direction I wasn't used to.
Okay.
And when I pulled out, I took a right.
Whoa.
And
hey.
also there's a
no
school
pulling
right
out.
there.
No
And
pulling
when
out.
I- when I
Oh no, that definitely don't be pulling out when there's a school nearby, Ryan.
Look,
Come
I've got
on.
good pull-out game. All right. So I took a right, and it was like I was at Panthersville. Like
The
I was
bus lot?
literally the street over. I mean, it was and we looked real hard at that house, but it had some significant problems,
Yeah, like being in floodplains, Panthersville.
like being in Panthersville at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than
That's you would move away from Summerhill to Panthersville as we start moving things out of Panthersville to Summerhill.
I don't at this point I don't believe it until we see it.
no, you're just getting ready for the future when they move back to Panthersville.
That's well, they're never gonna leave. So
Well, we're supposed to break ground in the fall. It's fall when we breaking ground.
Ooh,
I'm-
good question.
I
When
don't
does-
know
when
what
does-
any of these people are doing.
When does winter actually start? They're on a clock, aren't they?
Is it winter's like sometime between my birthday and Christmas? I think is when it starts. My birthday's December 9th. I think it's sometime after
December
that.
21st. Oh, they have some time.
Yeah,
If
they
they
got-
just shovel on December 20th, they're good to go.
that's not gonna happen.
No.
Not at all.
I don't necessarily believe we're moving.
Well, apparently
I
Cobb
hope
is
so.
blaming baseball on the reason why they can't do anything with football at all.
I was gonna say
So-
I heard about that, and I don't know what that
What?
means. Like I don't what's he saying? Do you know?
What's the story behind that? What do you got?
Oh no, I mean I've effectively said everything I know. It's just that I've heard
Uh-huh.
that in conversations and with Cobb, he's just saying that having to pay for the baseball stadium and I guess the indoor practice facility, the covered practice facility, that they don't have money to do any of these other things, or I don't know what other things they don't have money
Don't
to
do
do.
the facility then. Holy crap, we don't need it.
Like
Yeah.
stadium
Don't do that.
renovations or something like that? Or
Do you think how high do you think stadium renovations are actually on their list?
probably in the emergency category only.
You know, Savannah Bananas have been like this storybook success thing in professional, you know, if you want to call it professional sports. And like that dude was literally
Scratch.
living on a mattress, you know, with like $10 in his wallet trying to like get this thing off the ground and going. He busted his ass. Him and his wife and like one other dude are out there doing everything they could work. I don't see that kind of energy coming from Cobb and company,
Nope.
you know?
Yup.
Other than a balance sheet being good, I think that's about it.
Being balanced. I wouldn't say good. I'd say being balanced.
Well,
Is
okay,
it? I
good.
don't know anything
Good,
about that.
good for us is just being balanced, not in the red, right? That's all we want to be.
Right. But like, so I bemoaned last week about not getting called to renew my basketball season tickets, and I'm going to miss on Monday again as well because I got other prior obligations, and Toccoa Falls is not high on that list. But then I found out, you know, I was taking it a little personally. I thought that maybe there were some people up there. I was thinking higher of myself than I really am, thinking they're like, you know what, we don't want this guy causes problems here. We don't need him in the building. No, they're not calling people that did not renew their courtside tickets. Like people that were spending real money, they
Why?
didn't call.
Those are the easy money people.
It's wild.
Those are
That's
the ones
just
that want to spend the money. Like,
Exactly.
you know, you
Like,
need
oh, yeah.
them.
Yeah, because like who has one courtside ticket? They've got two. These people are paying thousands of
Norm-
dollars for the.
I think Norm has one.
Does Norm have one, or does Norm just like
I think he has
find
one.
his way in?
Yeah.
Does it? Yeah, but either way, like there's people that have like the most expensive tickets in there, and they're not getting a phone call about renewing it.
It's
Like-
absolutely wild.
We need to sue the guy that left us because he left us in a bad spot.
No, we need to call for a vote of no confidence in Charlie Cobb. This all resides on him. Like he wants that balance sheet balance. Imagine how it would be if you actually had more money coming in. And it's not like I'm talking about him or somebody getting paid a 6-figure salary to do this. The people that called me in the past were students.
Right.
It was like it was student
You got
assistants who were calling me.
students? I always got like a ticketing person.
No, mine were often
I would get
mine were often
players.
athletes. I think.
Yeah, players. I would get like a volleyball person or a softball person or something like that. They were actually calling me absolutely every single time.
Mm-hmm.
But then also because we're so great at what we do, they'd be like, "Hey, Mr. Brown, so happy to have you. Whatever. Just want to know if you wanted to renew your blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, I already did that. I've renewed and
take me off your list, please.
Different problem, but yeah.
But it's nice to hear from you. Have a great
I'd rather get
season.
the phone call and them have like overcalled me than like not at all, right?
I got called during a football game once. They actually called me. This is a long time ago. This was at least 7, maybe 8 years ago.
You were drunk.
Yeah.
I was. This was when I was in my old
were
house. No, that's why I know how long ago it was, because I was in my old house and watching a football game. And they called me about renewing tickets for basketball or something like that. And I'm like, I'm a little busy. I'm watching the game. And the person said, "What game are you watching?"
You know what it is? They were like, you need to call all these people by this day and this time. And they're like, shit, I got to do all this work now.
Yeah.
I mean, they just need to have like pick a day, get the list,
Yep.
give it to each athletics administrative person and say, okay, you call these people, you call these people, you call these people. Leave a voicemail. Hey, this is so-and-so from athletics. We noticed you haven't renewed your tickets yet. We'd love to have you aboard. Come on. It's $5. Yep. Wait, no, that's our show.
Hey.
But yeah, like what? I don't understand. Like even with the guy from ticketing, who was awesome, right? Even with them leaving,
yeah,
it's not like they can't just do that.
Yeah, to me, it's like if you have a program that relies on a single person to make renewals to your courtside ticket people, or it doesn't happen, you're failing as a program. You have to have a fallback. You have to have somebody else that can come in and be like, we need this large influx of cash. And all we have to do is ask these very loyal people who are here every year and have been for years and years and years.
Even better, do the Dave thing. Do the hey, if you don't opt out, we're charging you.
I don't understand why that's not. We live in a subscription-based society right now. Everything is subscription-based. Your TV is subscription, like your Disney Plus, your Netflix, all that kind of crap. Everyone used to buy Photoshop for $350. Now you pay $12.99 a month for it. Everything is subscription-based. I said this years ago to athletics. Let's create football season tickets as a subscription-based thing. You pay what, I don't know how it breaks down, $20 a month or whatever. For an extra $10 a month, you get basketball. For an extra this, you get access to these things, whatever. And it just renews every single month, every single year. And I was told, well, you have to get that credit card swipe. I'm like, you've never once in my life swiped my credit card. You've always just said the card on file. I'm like, yep, that's it. And because I read it off to you or I bought it, some of that. I don't if there is some kind of law or regulation in the NCAA or something like that requires them to get someone to give a verbal sign off or a click every single season to continue to do something, there has got to be a workaround.
Sue the NCAA. Everyone else is doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it would be easy, like just like United, right? They wanted their money and they said, hey, if you don't want tickets for next year, you have until this date to opt out. If you don't opt out, we're charging your card. Congratulations, you're
yeah. Oh yeah.
And honestly, look. If somebody
use the AOL thing, you use the AOL business model. AOL still makes millions of dollars a year because people have never just unsubscribe to it. Use the Planet Fitness.
Still has an AOL email address.
It might be hard to unsubscribe now. Let's be honest.
The Planet Fitness, model, the gym business model, where you've got to go into the gym to quit buying stuff. They won't just cancel it over the phone or anything.
Yeah, they should be sued.
I mean, that's predatory billing practices. I absolutely agree. But
here's the deal, though. If somebody calls in and says, like, midway through the season, and says, you know what, I didn't actually want this, and they haven't been to any games, they haven't used any tickets, refund them. Who cares? You've still probably charged like a way more people like for staying on than you would just given a couple of like refunds here and there. So just do it. Why not?
Yeah,
So,
and be like, you know what? We'll refund you for the rest of the season, but if you want to come out to a game, just let us know, and we'd like to get you back out there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
We should donate all of our time to Renew Everyone for athletics. What do you think, Ian?
For a premium.
It's a business, man. They hire professionals. I mean, they're professionals.
For $25 a month in our Patreon, I will personally renew your Panthers season tickets. I almost said Falcons because that's in my head right now.
I'm trying to go to the Panthers game, but the ticket's not working. Oh, you got to go to Mercedes-Benz.
No, I'll offer a new benefit for $25 a month in Patreon. I will call up athletics and I will renew your football and basketball season tickets every season for you.
And when they're like, oh, the one on file, will be like, yeah.
Sure.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. Sure. Yep, that's the one.
That was a good chat.
It was a needed chat. We needed to talk about it. It's real. It's sad.
There's real big problems in our athletic department. It's really frustrating, and I know we went off on it last.
Well, and you've got a head football coach now telling people to just not even donate to the PAC.
Yeah, just
and donate to NIL.
Yeah,
I wonder if the NIL
makes sense.
The NIL, you can sign up to do a monthly contribution, and they'll just bill that for eternity.
That's true.
Someone's figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's something to do with the perks that you get back, since they have to it's not all tax write-offable because you're receiving some benefit and all that stuff. I mean, well, supposedly, right? I mean, they send you a letter saying how much is able to be a tax write-off and how much isn't, don't they?
They do.
I think it's 80%. It's either 80% or whatever doesn't get you a benefit. So
I'm saying maybe there's some rules around that. I don't know, but
when I was asking about this was well before any of those tax laws changed. I mean, it's been a long time since I suggested this. Like use that whole Patreon model, that whole membership benefit reward model. Donate this much, you get this. Donate this much, you get that. Right. Add-ons.
Yeah.
When you go to check out, for an extra $5 a month, you'll get an additional parking pass for football or something like that. Just nickel and dime people, but they're paying on a monthly basis. And also, one thing that they did do is they did allow you to do your football tickets over 12 months recently, which I thought was great because you'd actually hadn't even finished paying them off before the season started. But
it's just divided by 12. There's no interest. It's really nice.
There's no. Oh, I think there's a ticketing fee. Like there's like $195, $295.
Oh, maybe whatever. I don't care.
Whatever. I hate it, but you know what? Just don't label it convenience fee. Don't label it a convenience fee.
Honestly, it's just Ticketmaster, and I really don't believe that they have any other option. Like, I think that Ticketmaster might just have a monopoly on it, and they just what are you going to do?
Just label it fees we're charging you because we can.
Exactly.
And they all do it. It sucks. Ticketmaster is going to go out of business at some point. Somebody's going to get them.
Just build it into the price and just establish it up front. Anyhow, I like that, but they need to do something. Just to, I don't know. I forget where I was going with the whole thing, but
it would help.
But they did stop the whole 12-month thing, or at least they stopped asking for people to renew in January.
I was gonna say they stopped it because nobody reached out about anything. So,
all right. What else we got?
I don't know, man.
Can't really get into Arkansas State homecoming. Tim, you were talking about some homecoming I saw on Facebook. You were in the little chat over there talking about some homecoming festivities going on.
Yes, the university is hosting its annual homecoming tailgate. So for $40, you get, I think it's just like the tailgate that we did for Georgia Tech in a sense. You get barbecue ticket, a limited beer, wine, seltzers.
For 17 minutes?
For 17.2 minutes. You get something else. You get bouncy house, whatever. They'll have a bunch of stuff. So it's an easy mail-in. Hey, I'm going to go to the football game, but I'm going to go to this tailgate first, bring my kids. They're going to jump around at a bouncy house. I'm going to drink, IPAs or water beer.
Is it tailgate or is it inside the stadium?
It is. I think it's inside the stadium, but I
Yeah.
don't know how they're going to handle that if you only buy a ticket to the tailgate.
So you can buy it. You can buy a tailgate ticket, but it does not include your game ticket.
It does not include the game ticket. You got to buy that separately, which I think I understand why. But
Whatever. I don't care.
I mean, we never go to those things anyway.
I was
So
gonna say we're gonna be tailgating like in our tents, right?
Yeah, I think I agreed to do smash burgers.
Yeah.
For this game.
That sounds
Yeah, I
right.
think that's what that sounds right.
I remember you promising smash burgers, and I remember there not being smash burgers since that. And I remember that the only other home game we have left is a chili cook-off. So I think you have to do
No,
smash burgers.
I talked about smash burgers. One of the first games we had at home, either Vandy or Mox, but then I just didn't. I failed at it. I just didn't do it. But I want to say after the ODU game, I said I'm committed to smash
Yeah, I think
burgers.
You said at the next home game, and at that point I did not realize the promise that you were making was like months away.
Yeah, because the Sun Belt does not know how to use a calendar.
Yeah,
So.
the announcers were talking about that at the last game, by the way. You guys would have felt good.
Good.
were
What did they say?
super nice about our stadium too.
They but they were talking about the just how we've been on the road, and we have a very tough road schedule, and that the Sun Belt kind of did the wrong thing, making our schedule difficult with like front loading all our home games and then having like this huge swath of away games right in the middle. So
Yeah, and they also said that we have untapped potential.
Oh my
with our
God.
stadium and location.
no, I hated them a lot for a lot of things
And I
that
was
they were
like,
saying, but
stop saying all the things we all know we can't have.
no, I'm just so sick of me being like, I'm a Georgia, like I like am miserable about it a little bit, like I'm a Georgia State fan, so we're a little down on ourselves, and they're like, oh, don't worry, you're still a new program. I'm like, shut up. No, we're not.
Yeah,
We are not. Like, we should be better.
10
Like, our
years
program-
FBS is shed that. That's
Yep,
over.
we're done with that.
Our program's almost old enough to drive. Our program's getting a driver's permit.
Yep.
We should be able to put together back-to-back winning seasons.
Yep.
We're almost getting to drink and drive. So
We should be competitive against our Sun Belt peers.
our breath.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
Well, ugh.
Period. And I
I like peers better than brethren. Brethren sounds too familiar. Like I don't want to be actually be that close to them.
I thought you might actually have a problem with peers, and so that's why I added Sunbelt because that adjective modified like our peers within the Sunbelt, not our real peers, which are outside of the Sunbelt.
If Georgia State were to move to a new conference, and it can be whatever conference you want them to move to, I don't care which one it is, and one Sun Belt member was going to come with you, and you got to pick which one it would be, which actual Sun Belt member do you think is the one that you're like have the least amount of disdain or the most amount of respect for, the one you would not mind continuing seeing on a regular basis every year?
Ooh, App State. Although the podcasters were dicks. I don't know.
Yeah, and we've never beaten them, so it's like not sure if I want to bring a guaranteed loss every season. But
hey, you guys said it's not guaranteed. I'm the one who's in that boat. No, I do like Appy a lot, but my brain went immediately to like Troy State. They're so inoffensive. I don't think about them at all.
They're a loving group of folk.
Just nothing, and they seem fine, and they seem like they'd fit into like the SEC with us.
Yeah. The SEC. Well, they're right there. You
just slid that right in, like SEC.
Create that Troy State Auburn rivalry right there, right?
Look, you said.
Yeah, you go down the list. I don't know. I mean, TDS, no. Marshall, too far away. Whatever. ODU, nope, too far away. JMU, we'll go there. D-bags. Yeah. Coastal Carolina, nope. Teal Chickens, nope, don't want it. App State, maybe. I can see Troy State. Southern Miss is harmless and they're nice.
I just don't really know much about them. They don't feel much like.
Hey, we've got a 1-0 record against them.
We should
bring in the Patsy.
They should have a game after the last game for the two worst teams in the conference. That'll be us and them. Ultimate pillow fight of the SBC.
I would.
We already played ODU. I mean, I don't know what you want.
I
they're
would
3-2. I don't know. I mean,
I would subscribe to a Southern Miss Georgia State bowl game.
the
Like,
toilet bowl.
they're both garbage teams. Like, neither one of them has 5 wins, but like we're gonna put them in a bowl game just to figure out what the hell's going on.
How bad is bad? We'll find out soon.
I think I'd just rather not know.
Hey, look, I'm going to say this every game until we win. We're winning the next game.
We're winning the next game, 41-7, right?
Because since TDS, I've said it every week.
You're the problem, Tim.
Wait, should I say we're going to lose? I don't want to say that. Like,
Yeah, but we are. So
no, we're winning.
I would maybe bet against the spread, 2.5 points.
We're gonna win by a half point.
If I
We'll figure that out.
I won't bet against my team, so that won't happen. But
This would be a good one to bet on.
I think we're gonna lose.
This would be a good one to bet on.
I mean, do you really want to go? And I know you don't want to go on, but like, we're on a 5-game losing streak right now. 6-game losing streak. My God, 6 games.
Yeah, it's 6.
It hurts.
Let's win this one. I already predicted at the beginning of the season we lose Texas State, and then we come back and we beat Coastal. I like to beat Texas State too, though. I was looking. I don't even think we can play spoiler. I don't think beating Texas State or Arkansas State. Arkansas State's on the. Lafayette's 5-0 in conference. They would have to like screw up like royally.
Yeah.
To so we're actually looking at if things hold, we're looking at a trash down south Lafayette Sunbelt Championship game. Tell me more reasons why you don't want to be in this conference.
I was to say that's a burn it down championship. That's like we're done here. Okay.
We need Southern to lose a game, is what you're saying.
If they lose a game, and I don't even know who they have left on the roster, if they lose a game, Marshall is technically tied with them right now. Did Trash beat Marshall already?
They did. No, they did last second. They came.
Okay.
Back.
Okay. So if Trash loses and Marshall wins out, then Marshall could take the championship. But as of right now, that game's being played in Lafayette. So
yeah, Louisiana's looking good. I mean,
yeah,
Louisiana State. No.
Whoa.
That's another place.
Other swamp university in Louisiana. How about that?
That would
Ooh
make
la
them,
la.
like just
Ooh la la.
imagine when people if people called us Georgia, like we would be like, we're not Georgia.
They're like, what? Who? Where?
How would you like?
We're like, sure.
How little do you know about college football?
You'd be like, yeah, we're number 12 in the playoff.
Yeah, I tell them Georgia State, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are pretty good right now, right? You championships." I'm like, "No."
Yeah, we're pretty good.
My father-in-law lives in Syracuse and has hit Syracuse season tickets. And every time that Syracuse plays Georgia Tech, he messaged me about the game, and I'm like,
"Wrong team."
Yeah, it's Georgia State. We're really. I get it for how close we are as universities, or sorry, we're a university, they're an institute, but like. How many times do I have to tell you that I went to Georgia State, not Georgia Tech?
Well, that's not as bad. I have friends that live in different states that confuse us with TDS. That I do not like.
I was very rude to a friend of mine when TDS beat Florida, and I got
congrats.
I got a congrats, and my response was I was drunk because you've met me, and my response to her was I sure as hell hope you're not confusing Georgia State with Georgia Southern. And she never replied back to me.
That's not too
ever
bad.
Again.
That's not too bad.
And then I threw her off a cliff.
No, she sounds terrible.
Bad.
You're better off.
And she's pretty hot though.
Yeah, but terrible.
Yeah, then she went to Florida Gulf Coast, and I never knew that she went to Florida Gulf Coast until they made the tournament and like beat Duke or whatever. And then she was the biggest Florida Gulf Coast fan for like a season.
God, that was a flash in the pan. You don't even hear about them anymore.
Yeah.
Speaking of things you don't hear, no, we don't have to talk about them.
Uh-oh.
I was going to talk about the drama up the street.
I have that on there.
Fired, not fired, stepped down, not stepping down, could have been fired, but was offered to step down.
The question is, does Ryan have any idea what we're talking about right now?
I do, but I don't. I know I've seen something about this.
Kennesaw State announced that the head coach stepped down, and the head coach, former head coach, tweeted out, "I was fired. I did not step down at all.
I didn't step down. I was told to leave, and I left."
I mean that's a unforced error on the university's part. They should have just fessed up to what they were doing.
Do you think that the AD called? Was it Bohannon or whatever his name is?
Bohannon,
Brian.
BB.
Called him into the office. AD called him in the office, and they were like, "What's going on with the season?" Blah blah. And the AD's like, "Get out of here." And so the coach is like, "All right, I got fired," and I left, and then like packed his stuff up and left. And they was like, "Oh, I guess he resigned. I don't know what happened. I just said, get out of here, get out of my office," is all I meant, you know.
I don't think so. I think things like that happen on like The Office, but not in real life necessarily.
They're in meltdown mode up there though for this. I mean,
isn't Kennesaw State like basically just
the AD?
Isn't Kennesaw State effectively Scranton, Ohio, or Scranton, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, might be. It's Scranton, Georgia.
Scranton, Georgia. Oh, that's a good insult. Can we call them Scranton, Georgia? Yeah, Scranton, Georgia.
Is that like Scranton, Electric City? Is that
Scranton State? There probably is a Scranton State. There's like a college everywhere.
Yeah,
they have a college or university or something for everything.
I think he probably got let go, and then they probably tried to pass it off as he's leaving, and he was like, let me actually just say some more information here because that's not fair. And
do you think it's one of the things where like they got into a heated argument and AD's like, "You're fired," and he's like, "You can't fire me because I quit." And then he got home and his wife was like, "By the way, if you quit, you miss out on your everything else, and if they fire you, you get paid." All that other crap. And he's like, yeah, you said fired first. So I it doesn't matter what I said after I said,
I was already fired. What are you talking about?
I was already fired. You can't, I can't quit a job that I was fired from.
So, just so we're all very clear, this is just another Office bit.
It pretty much is. Yeah.
You can't fire me. I'm firing you.
I literally just watched that episode. So
Nice.
I've tried to watch The Office. I couldn't.
You don't like it? I love The Office.
I couldn't get into it.
And actually, the whole bit is Michael calls the boss and
firing myself.
"Oh, yeah, I fired him, or he tried to quit, but I fired him instead." And she's like, "Now we owe him severance." And he definitely quit.
The last words he said when he walked out of the building was, "I quit."
Yeah.
So I mean, looking up the street, like their fans are losing their shit over this. They want the AD to go to hell. They want to fire him. They want the president to fire the AD. They want to bring back Coach Bohannon. But granted, they've not been having a couple good seasons, and this transition has been as bad or worse than ours, which is fantastic. Thank you, Kennesaw, for doing it. But his win percentage is like 66 or something higher than that. It's like 70 and 32.
Yeah.
Some crazy thing.
Yeah, I think once you actually make it into FBS, all records should be erased. I don't think
he's won in whatever.
Well, yeah, but that one is Liberty.
You beat the darlings of the G5.
You know, I said you're on the hot seat if you lose against TDS, but like you should just have like your job if you beat Liberty.
that's the golden ticket. Like, you know,
yeah, like as long as you beat Liberty, you're good.
You get 365 days more from that point. From that game on, you're good for 365 days if you beat Liberty.
He single-handedly stopped Liberty from being the first college football playoff team from G5. Period.
Do you think they would have? Do you think they would have? Because Boise State's still undefeated, right? Like,
they were going to make an argument. They wanted to play App State and beat them and be like, "Oh, look at us, we beat App State." They're like the class of, well, they're not this year, but I mean, they would make the case that that's a quality win, and they want that 12 seed. It's 12 seed, 12
right.
seed. Yeah,
mm-hmm. The 12 seed. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be 12 seed if you're better than.
Hey, why don't we hire Coach B for some offensive analyst something? We have lots of coaches, right?
Well, who's the interim up there? Because Volker was coaching linebackers, right?
I want to say they did something like we did, or somebody else did. It was like the special teams or like the kicking coach or some like weird position that you're like, oh yeah, they're probably not going to get hired away immediately. Well, we can keep them in for a minute. Isn't that what we did? Wasn't it special teams? It was like our no, they know that they made cocaine and steroids the interim head coach until McGee was hired, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. The strength and conditioning coach was like in charge, which makes sense, right? I have no idea if this is true or not. But that's what I remember is that he came in.
I didn't study it enough to know who their interim head coach is. I just was
no.
following Twitter, reading all these people angry, then some AJC article and more people angry. So
Yeah.
seemed to be
So we can't even be the worst team in the state without Kennesaw State coming or Scranton State coming in and being worse. It's probably going to be, if I remember this tomorrow, it's probably going to be involved in the
Scranton
the
State's our
subtitle.
title. Yeah.
Exactly. Scranton State, the new Savannah State.
No, well, something along the lines of like can't even be the worst with Scranton State or something like that. Yeah.
I only have so many characters I can get on that little thumbnail thing that I've been trying. I already had an idea for the thumbnail for YouTube. This is probably more last call crap because it's kind of BS, but I've been trying to work on it and it is just not giving me the results I want. So I'll have to
They're
figure
pretty
out
golden
something.
though. We've already had requests for them to be on T-shirts. So
Or prints. I actually wanted prints for the wall. Yeah. So
Why don't we since you said last call, why don't we move on to last call? We can talk about hoops.
Good idea.
You have to join last call to hear our hoop thoughts.
oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah, Tim, take us out of here, buddy.
Yep. Thanks everyone for listening. We're gonna take a quick break, probably restock the bevs, and head over to last call. If you liked what you heard or you didn't, consider joining our Patreon anyway at patreon.com/State of Atlanta. They get live access streaming to last call, discounts on merch, group chat action, which has been super lively lately. All that breaking news, adult beverages at our tailgates, especially this Saturday coming up, and more. $5, you can become a fan of the show. We'd love to have you aboard. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.